I gotta download some of this info, bro.
He has lost and
Medical, thank you for the tier 1.
won everything in the span of 3 years. He went from some random kid calling e-girls
I'm just kidding.
to collaborating with the biggest streamers on the platform. His exponential growth did not come without sacrifice though.
I'm glad you busy and doing well. I don't know what to say. I just want you to know I am not happy. Just remember when you were little, we spent a lot of time together, and now you changed too much.
So let me tell you the entire story. Jason used to be like every other teenager. I want to become a YouTuber. I want to become a streamer. And so he tried it for himself too. In 2018, he streamed on Twitch exactly 2 times. He was around 14 at the time though, so he was probably like, nah, I got better things to do. Like jerking. It wouldn't be until 2021 where he would take his influencer career a bit more seriously. As we all know, quarantine hit the world like a truck in anime. Suddenly, everybody had
a bit more seriously. By more serious, does he mean the TikToks he was making?
way too much free time. Some people worked out, others watched Netflix all day, and Jason decided he would become TikTok famous, no matter what it takes. When Money Sniper was the name of his first account, and he would post these types of videos.
Hey, did y'all know that your phone screen actually smells really good, like fresh fruit? Take a sniff with me.
I could never do that, but it would turn out to be the stepping stone to his first taste of real success. Jason would continue doing these cringy TikToks for about a year.
Reasons why you should be with me instead of him. Reason number one, if you with me, nothing has ever hurt of you. Except one thing, if you know what I mean.
He would occasionally hop on Twitch and also try YouTube for a change. His content was
it
mostly
was
games
cringe.
like Valorant, a bit of Warzone, a bit
but
of
it worked.
And he also
look at where he's at now.
E-dating.
The digital footprint. That when he said sacrifices, yeah, he made a sacrifice. His digital footprint,
which is pretty insane foreshadowing.
It's
But we'll get
forever.
why in a second. His Discord name was also Godly Booty too. Just wanted to point that out. Now let's quickly go back to his TikToks. They might seem like humiliation rituals, but they proved to be very effective. Using this cringe persona, he was able to get millions of views on his videos and built his first loyal fan base. He was known as that one cringe kid on TikTok, and that made him stand out. Everybody
Cringe
famous
works,
is kind of known for something.
Everybody get up in their own way.
blew up because he kept barking and raging. Queso blew up because he spilled like a 1x1 Lego piece. And Jason does this.
Reasons why you should let me be your Valentine. Reason number one, I'll rub your feet while we watch Euphoria, if you know what I'm saying.
TikTok was paying nothing though. He was able to buy Louis glasses, but that's pretty much it. So in August of 2022, he would finally commit to streaming. With an average of around 100 viewers that mostly came from his TikToks. He
That's
streamed
crazy.
pretty much every day.
2 years later, look at where he's
and
at.
The mentioned e-dates now. But he did it differently this time. He took the goofy personality from TikTok and displayed it on stream.
Slurp that dick till it comes. Smack my ass.
Now couple that with random e-girls that he hired off of ePals
I
to
don't know
play
why Queso
Valorant
just
with
got
him,
us
and he
straight.
just created the perfect formula for the most cringe yet funny
2
content
years
in
ago,
his space,
Jason was
and that made
averaging
him get his first semi-viral clips.
under 100 viewers.
Your hobbies. Oh.
My hobbies?
Yeah.
My hobbies is being dominant.
Okay.
The little growth that he experienced was nice and all, but he was paying his e-kittens like $3 per Valorant game. So Jason had to find
E-kittens?
other ways to grow too.
What
Luckily
is
for
that?
him, he donated some of his hard-earned cash to Prod, a well-established Valorant streamer even back then. Jason took the risk and asked him in the donation if he wanted to play with him. Not in that way. Normally when a streamer sees somebody begging for a shout-out, they just
Medic,
straight
thank you
up
for the tier
ignore
1
it.
for 2
But
months.
Prod already knew who Jason was due
Wiener
to his
Wrangler,
few
how do you
viral
donate for
clips.
TTS? I think. Please, thank you for the prime.
And so he agreed,
It's
and they
on.
quickly became friends.
I don't know.
This
I
helped him a
think
ton.
you
He
just
went from
scroll down.
peaking at
Or
200
hit
max
exclamation
viewers
point
in
TTS.
August to 3,000 max viewers in September. That's like a lot of growth in a month. With that momentum, Jason went
this is in
absolutely
1
nuts with the
month?
streams. He
In
started
1 month, he's 7x'd his.
doing more variety
Damn, so
content.
Prod
since
is
that
a
was what
pretty
the viewers
essential
actually
point.
wanted. He made songs,
Essential part of Jasontheween's
whatever
story
this
here.
is.
That's shit, that's my way. Do it like that and I'll prepare.
And he met a ton of other famous streamers since this whole e-dating thing was going crazy at the time. He met people like Sable Ronaldo, Clake's, and Sneeko. He wasn't e-dating them, but like they did streams together. The viewers absolutely loved seeing him do outrageous things in front of girls. And he would even step it up a notch by doing IRL streams where he would talk to girls while they put
Oh, he's
makeup
been
on him.
doing
And
this
this
for
was
a
all
minute.
still for entertainment
the
and
fuck?
content purposes only. He would go on a random
kids are-
e-date or makeup stream,
I
do
haven't
his
seen
cringe
that, bro.
thing.
Oh my
Pee in
god.
her mouth? Yo!
and he would go semi-viral with it. Everybody's happy. But people who watch hours of this stuff want to see character development. You don't want to feel just cringe all the time. You want all kinds of different emotions, like in a K-drama. So let me introduce you to Mira. They first met through Shorting Ali, another streamer, and she would be the start of a cycle that would repeat itself over and over again, each time making Jason more and more famous in exchange for something not too pleasant.
Why y'all saying
Mira and Jason just started off as friends, and Jason would put on his typical cringe persona for the content.
This is X?
You know, the whole e-kitten Discord mod trope, just like with all the other previous e-girls.
Y'all saying, oh, this is
You've been a
X?
bad girl.
But Mira was different. He would spend more and more time with her outside this whole e-dating content farm.
Bye, Jason.
Okay, bye.
Love you. I love you.
Me too. Wait, she said it first.
Because they actually connected
Okay,
quite
so
well.
he's
She
watched
became
it
a
before.
recurring character.
Okay,
He would
bet.
even create entire songs and detailed paintings for her. Okay, those might not be the best examples, but the important thing is, part of it actually seemed genuine. Behind the content, there seemed to be actual feelings, and the viewers felt that too.
All roots end with Mira. And that's on period.
They grew attached to their dynamic and even created a whole hashtag for them. Hashtag Jira. It was a roller coaster of emotions. It seemed like
they were
Jason was
shipping it.
genuinely in love, and they shared so many moments together.
Do I genuinely have feelings for Mira? Tony?
Damn, he
Mira
looks
Tonin
mad
is very
young,
special
bro.
to my, and it's a very special place in my heart. And I would be lying if I said I did not catch feelings over a Discord call.
But it was all fabricated.
What me and Mira had was fake,
yeah.
bro. I met Mira at TwitchCon and did absolutely nothing, bro. I felt nothing towards her.
I
would be
lied
lying
saying
if I
all this,
said-
by the way.
Jason definitely liked Mira as a friend, but at the end of the day, the focus was on the content, going viral. And like it or not, it worked. He created endless viral clips with her and other e-girls.
Yeah, hold on.
But most importantly, he solidified a die-hard fanbase. A fanbase that wanted to see how he develops as a person and how this story ends. Instead of just seeing him play Valorant and be goofy all the time.
You good?
Are you okay?
You could feel what at least seemed like real, raw emotions. Sad, in love, and everything in between. And we're not talking about 100 fans anymore. We're talking about 1,000 people watching him at all times now. The Mira arc eventually died down though, but the same cycle would only escalate from here on out.
I mean, in
the
4
beginning
months,
of 2023, he continued his streak of doing e-dating content,
10x
slowly
his
moving away
viewers.
from Valorant. There are only so many
Wait.
e-girls you can hire, you know? Around this time, the whole wrist thing was at its all-time high though, and Jason, being in this exact space, was able to use this to its full potential. Now, he didn't rizz up people like my hero Duke Dennis, but he did it his way.
No way the guy who made this video is lazy. Duke on the side.
This was around the time I actually found him, because his clips were everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You'd find him staring at the camera while the girl he's talking to feels visibly uncomfortable. I wasn't the only one finding his TikToks though. A person who would later become one of the most important characters in his stream saw his TikToks too.
He
Yujin.
does have the
After
method.
being a
This
fan
shit
of
clearly
Jason
worked.
and watching his streams, she decided to reach out, and so she appeared on a stream for the first time. And yes,
so-
history repeats itself.
So
So
this
after a
is
bit
the
more
X,
investigative
y'all.
research, I found out that they probably met through a mutual before the whole thing actually started. But for the sake of the story, we'll keep it pushing. Hashtag Jujin or some shit became a thing now. The new love story of will they or will they not. Alongside the wrist stare content machine that was running, both the new and the old viewers were hooked on the Jason and Eugene story. And it felt even more genuine this time. They would talk for
it's like a
hours on
live
end. He would do
rom-com.
IRL streams with her, make songs entirely dedicated to Eugene.
Oh my god, he was pouring his heart out. Oh, this goes deep.
And yes, they actually
It's like
eventually became a
K-pop
couple.
drama.
Be deeply in love, chat.
You can imagine that the community went crazy. They were more attached to this random guy on the internet than to their own lives. I was emotionally invested in this guy, but that makes the downfall even more painful. The first few months of 2023 were the biggest months for Jason yet. And not
Wait,
gonna
why
lie, he was on
painful?
top of the world. He had a girlfriend and he grew from 1,000 to 3,000 people watching him at all times. Eugene and Jason did a ton of streams together and all that. But once it was finally
It is crazy though that you guys know when this method has existed for years. For years. Like I'm not gonna yap too much on the side because I want to finish this. But when me and Norden were just trick shotters and we were making videos in our basement before we moved into the Faze house, the second we introduced a girl in our content and we started making videos with girls and like girlfriend content, it goes so much crazier. It goes so much crazier. I don't know if y'all were here for this or y'all remember this. Rice Gum's done it. Censor's done it. You know what I mean? It just gets tricky because when you actually do end up like being with the person and like catching feelings and falling in love with the person, your relationship has a third party in it. There's a third party in your relationship. It's not A, B, it's A, B, and then the entire internet, which sucks.
They were in a relationship, the excitement was kinda gone. A lot of people complained that the streams got more stale, which sounds horrible because the man was happy, but it's like watching a show. If everything goes right, there's nothing exciting about it. In order to maintain success, you need to stay relevant. And his main content was going on e-dates basically, so he obviously couldn't stop that. He talked to Mira sometimes, a bunch of other girls, and he did his usual goofy wrist stuff.
Can I get an aura?
Reviews.
Absolutely not.
But he obviously couldn't pretend like he was actually interested in any of the girls. It was good content, but it did bother Eugene.
Damn,
I mean, it's
so he
understandable.
got
You're in a
put in a
relationship and your partner
crossroads.
just goes on e-dates almost every day. There were a lot of trials and tribulations going on.
Oh my God, that's why Rice Gum's girl got so mad at him. Oh my God, history repeating itself. Oh my God, wait. Y'all, look at this. Oh my God, do y'all not remember this? Do y'all not remember this? I don't know if I can find the stream. There's a whole, like, honestly, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. But there was, Rice Gum would make streams with, or do streams with girls, right, on Fortnite in the crib. And he would call them. And one day he was talking to a girl. And his girl came home and started spazzing on him. And he was like, yo, I gotta do this. That's crazy as It was kind of insane.
But it was clear that the current direction they were heading in wasn't the right one.
Mia Francis, Abby, yeah, that was the girl's name. Oh my God! Wait, if you could find,
set boundaries, and I broke the boundaries. You're just really good to me, and like, obviously, it's hard for a girl to see.
You were in the stream. That's crazy.
Talk to other girls on stream.
And so he had to make a decision: Eugene or his career. And it seemed like he chose the latter. I'm making it a bit more dramatic than it actually is. But them being long distance, him doing e-dates, and a bunch of other factors led to them breaking up. Jason is still young, and if he wanted to last in this business, he would have to make sacrifices. That's just how life works. Now my mans was obviously still hurting, but he had to keep it pushing. And so he did. They broke up around the end of February of 2024.
Yo.
Oh, this was like this year.
Crazy ass shit.
And you can see that during the time they were in a relationship, he didn't really grow all that much. Didn't lose a lot of viewers, didn't gain a lot of viewers. Now it does sound horrible to say it out loud, but the months following his breakup were his biggest months ever, at least career-wise. And it's because he went more crazy with the girls' content than ever before. He low-key crashed out. He went to parties and started doing streams with girls left and right. He built an entire roster of girls that he talked to.
I don't think you could. I feel like the term crash out is getting thrown around. I don't think this is crashing out. Like when he decides to pursue a specific avenue of content.
Crazy
like,
with the girls'
obviously,
content.
It's like he could see the trend of like, okay, when I do this, people like this. People want to see this. In what world is that crashing out? If anything, he's catering to his audience more. Like, and his comm, like, is always on his ass trying to tell him shit, bro.
And than ever before. He low-key crashed out. He went to parties and started doing streams with girls left and right. He built an entire roster of girls that he talked to basically daily. And it felt like the whole Mira and Eugene story, but like 1,000 times more extreme. Because there were like 15 girls at one point. He would travel to different states and meet up the girls there to do these insane dates. And yes, he would still do his wrist thingy.
Are they lady in the tramping?
Take Sa, for example. They would talk on Discord, meet up, and he would show up on her birthday.
You don't know how to play with slime. Were you not a slime kid?
I'm not a slime kid. I was an iPad kid.
Next thing you know, he's with an entirely different girl doing the exact same thing. And he would just sometimes rotate. Every stream felt like an entire movie. It had a background story, it had lore behind it. And trust me, it got really deep. People call it the Weenie-verse because of how many girls and characters
Farm so many parasocials. I think you're right with that one. Look at this, bruh. People really are making graphs and diagrams about...
Played a role in these streams. Like, look at this.
Insane.
How complicated...
The Weeniverse? The Weeniverse cinema. Like it's just the MCU or some shit,
Can a stream
bruh.
be?
Alright, there's some beef between Selena and Melissa. Followed YBG for a year? Was this all planned in prologue? Went to Jessica's party surrounded by 6-foot fashion demon ABBs.
Bro, people really
Wow,
are making
man.
this.
It's crazy how I met them both on Hinge, and they are somehow connected. And then boom,
They
Jessica,
made
for
a
those that don't
stock
know,
market
threw a
based
birthday
off of
party
every
recently
girl.
with
You are
Charlotte.
lying.
And the people loved it. Sure, he was definitely still recovering from his first relationship.
You're a weirdo, bro.
Bro, why y'all digging into the past and finding like...
Not lying.
Like
Oh my god.
Like it's one thing.
That is so messed up. No,
But
when
if
we were
we're only talking about growth here, in 2 months, he went from an average of 3,000 people watching him to 8,000 viewers analyzing his every move. Prime Jason was back. Now his growth did not stop at all. And that is because he joined a group that is gonna change his life in the following years. Faze. I mentioned that Jason had connected with Stable Ronaldo early on, and he would be the one introducing Jason to
was
the
really,
whole
really
Faze group.
great
And at the end of
timing. I'm not
April,
gonna
he would
lie.
officially join. By doing that, he had the ability to collaborate with so
And the
many
fact
other
that he was
creators,
already tied
such as
in with
Plankboy
Ron.
Max, Lacey, and a bunch of other guys.
Really
Networking
was a
with
big
these
part
guys
of
and
it,
being for
bruh,
the streets got him to an average of 10,000 people watching him. He literally
crazy.
made $100,000 in June, but his life is by far not perfect.
it is
We
insane
can all
how-
agree that he's a pretty busy guy with the girls thing, traveling, and face. But his family
This fool
is
does
still
work a
not
lot.
used to that.
I'm not
He's
gonna
still
lie,
in
y'all.
college, for example, doing information systems.
If right now you dropped out,
An actual grinder. An actual grinder.
Like,
I mean,
without
and
telling
that's...
Without
Let me
telling
finish the
them?
video.
Oh, hell no. My parents would cry, I feel like.
In general, his family also feels like he's too busy these days.
I told my
you couldn't-
aunt, like,
you
I
couldn't,
was gonna
like,
be in LA for a minute. And she was
struck
like, 'cause
gold
I grew up
in
close to my aunt. She took
a
me
more
to
literal
church
way.
and shit. She texted me, oh my God, this crushed my soul.
You
Look,
going to sleep, Daniel?
I'm
Later.
glad you busy and doing well. I don't know what to say. I just want you to know I am not happy. Just remember when you were little, we spent a lot of time together, and
That's
now you
sad,
changed too
bruh.
much. No family time, money so important, make you forget all the good things. I was like, damn.
No, that's not
fine
right.
now, I think
But just
so,
like
too.
the story with
I would have to
Eugen,
agree.
if you're
I might be
having this kind of
biased, though.
success at such a young age, you need to ride that wave, man. Even if that means that you gotta neglect some other things. Jason is at his
SAJ, what's
peak
that
right
mean?
now, and I wholeheartedly believe that he will
Oh, it's
keep
a
blowing
sad
up the
emo.
following months and hopefully the following.
He really does grind, though, Chad. I'm not going to lie. Like, this fool, how many hours is he streaming a month? Hundreds of hours a month, bro. And completely, like, really throwing himself into the content. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, though, that, like, he went on that arc. You know what I'm saying? Like, broke up with his girl, and then his viewership shot up, and now he's where he's at, which is like 10x of where he was before. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot, and it's a lot to, like, try to, I guess, take in at a young age, bro. But I mean, he's a good kid. He's smart too. He has a good head on his shoulders, and he's around the right people. That's the important thing. Like, that's the whole idea of FaZe, bro. That he's always around people who will support him, and, you know, all of that shit, bro.